Ladies and gentlemen, I would like to extend my thanks to everyone for joining us to this second NetEx trade fair. I would like to extend a very special invitation and thanks, especially to the media partners and uh, media friends, those who could come and then be with us today, especially again, to cover at least 4 or 5 days events. I have very important people with me today. We have Director Industries who will be covering on the part of Prime Minister Vishwakarma project schemes, under which we will be having here, particularly in our trade fair campus. We have NSIC Zonal Manager from Guwahati who will be speaking on NSIC, contribution towards this particular event. We have our joint director from MSME who will be speaking on the minister's inaugural program, which we are going to have. I have my friends and colleagues from Business Association of Nagas, Dr. Jan Murray, who is the Vice President International. I have my friends and colleagues from BAN itself, who are the conveners of various standing committees. I have my friend Zeppino, who is the convener of Standing Committee for Tourism. We have a separate session on tourism, which she has been taking care of. So I will let her speak particularly on that tourism aspects. We have our friend Mr. Inoto, who is the convener, particularly for our logistic import and export. So we have a session on 20 where he has been making all the arrangement, particularly with all the panelists. So he'll be speaking on that. Today, I feel so proud that we are going to have an second international trade fair. And the core aspects of why we are having this is that we are creating and promoting our entrepreneurs, particularly in identifying their value proposition. I think that's very important for us. And at the same time, it is also very important that we are assisting the government in saying to it that the government identifies and start working out, implementing, creating infrastructure, the right infrastructure for the entrepreneurs. There are many infrastructures in Nagaland which we yet have to build up. There are many infrastructures in Nagaland which we are still need to use. So I think in order to make use of that, building up, entrepreneurial, society, I think the government has to come in fully, and that is what the government has been doing, and that is why we have been finding out a lot many representatives, especially from the government sectors. Um, before I move on, the objective of us, why we wanted to have this trade, is that we are creating a platform for the entrepreneurs. We are creating a platform and network, collaboration. We will find a lot of collaboration which is happening today. We will have market linkages which will be built this time. We will have market researches which will be creating at this time. We will have, market exposure, especially through this. Over and top of that, I think it's very important that the government and the private sector connects, which is very important for context. When we have to see the context of Nagaland, that connect is very important. Government cannot do away with this private sectors. Private sectors cannot do away with. But how well do we gel in order to keep an effective economic growth in the state? I think that is going to be very important for us. I would like to give in brief about 4 or 5 days program. What we are going to do for the next 4 or 5 days in brief, and then I will be handing it over to my friends. On 18th, we will be starting our our souls with a prayer, and then in the evening we will have our policymaker coming and then attending us, and then having some interaction with the entrepreneurs. And on 19th, we have our, Honorable Minister of MSME, who will be inaugurating our, trade fair. So he'll be accompanied by the secretary MSME. He'll also be accompanied by joint secretary MSME and many dignitaries, especially from the state and outside. So that is it. And on 20, on 19, we still have two sessions. One session is on tourism. I think it has been very meticulously picked because this is very important, which we can even show it to the world. We can give it to the world. So the tourism, that is one thing which we are going to concentrate. And on 19 itself, we are going to work on a session on startups, and which Dr. Yan, he will be taking care of that. On 20, uh, we are having a logistic session, which is going to be very important for us, and particularly for logistic. Our hopefully our chief secretary, chief minister, will be coming, and then he will be giving us a keynote address, and we will have an excellent panelist, particularly for this. And this is one very important session for us. Before I hand it over, I would like to just share something with you. NSIC and MSME, we had been working very closely. We had signed up an MOU with MSME to work together, particularly in Nagaland. And so whenever we propose anything else, I think they have been very fast in taking care of that. Especially, we had been asking the government, we had been asking MSME that we needed an NSIC office here in Nagaland, and it was graciously given to us. So we are also having one new NSIC office here in Nagaland, and within this period only, I think we will be launching that. We will look forward for that. We will let you know exactly when we are going to do that. Taking situation, as far as the venue is concerned, many a times we have been having a lot of problems because we don't have the right infrastructure. But I think this venue has been freely given to us by Aung Sinsu Tolongjam, like to make use of this beautiful place, free of cost. Of course, I think just because it is free, we also have to give a lot of things free, particularly in shaping this particular venue. This venue is just in the central of Dimapur, where it's easy accessibility, and so I think the people, Dimapurians, are really going to come and enjoy this place. We have a lot of food courts. I think the people, the participants, can really enjoy that. We have a very special program, particularly on a day-to-day basis. That is an entertainment program, live performance, live performance on wood crafting, live performance on stone crafting, live performance on fiber crafting. We also have a special show, particularly by a very specially enabled child who makes beautiful painting, with mouth. So I think that is going to be happening throughout the day. I think you can really come and take note of that. You can really enjoy that. We will also have a loin loom. Live. I think we will be giving that out. So I think loin loom, that is also going to be one attraction. Um, as such, I would like to thank all our sponsors. We have sponsors from SIDPI, we have sponsors from SPI, State Bank of India, and other sponsors which we will be sharing with you. And after the end of this, I think we will be sharing the entire program, the entire itinerary. So I think you can have it from Dr. Yan. So now I think I take the privilege of again extending my thanks to all of you. I would now like to give time to Director, Industries and Commerce.
Thank you, Brother Mugam, our friends here, and especially the print and the electronic media. Without you, even if we do everything, is not going to work. But just because you are giving us so much of support, initially I thank you all this evening. As our band president has said, we are going to have a certain program in collaboration with the band. And initially, I would like to thank the band because many of the efforts that we are supposed to do is spent there. kind of taken initiative by our friends here. So this is one big thank you for you. And as in when this second Nagaland International Great Expo is held, our minister from MSME is joining here side by side certain programs, and then the say projects are being inaugurated on 19th and 20th of this month in this particular program. Now we are going to have certain say awareness program. This last year on 17th of August, BM has personally inaugurated the BM Vishwakarma, and this particular scheme covers 18 traditional trades. Some of the threads, yes, for our Nagaland, it's not that much of relevance because it is for the whole of the nation. It is framed. So this particular scheme is to look into the aspect of those who were left out in many of the say trades. Like we have barbers, blacksmithy, carpenter, masons, and then making up fishing nets. This kind of neglected, say, field where many of the traditional artisans and craft persons, with their own tools and hands, they used to uh, extract their livelihood. That particular aspect is governed in this particular the Vishwakarma scheme. Now, as of now, in Nagaland, in 13 districts, the new districts are still yet to be governed because some establishments are yet to be, say, met. And therefore, we are governing initially 13 districts, out of which 3,152 applications we have already received. And one heartening note is 981 application is from Mon district. Now, this particular scheme has certain say, benefits. One is it is going to give the recognition of the artisans and craft person. The Vishwakarma certificate will be given, and an identity card will be given, so that as you know, when the artisans, craft persons are say kind of recognized, there'll be something like an entrepreneur who is having another say ID card. The other one is as in when they are registered, they'll be given short-term kind of training when they are going to be provided with some toll gates worth 15,000 in e-voucher. So this is one area where the neglected artisans and trade persons can be benefited. The other aspect of the scheme is they'll be given financial say incentives also in terms of say loan through branches. First one is 1 lakh, and as in when they are attending that particular 5 to 7 days training, they'll be given that toll gates worth 15,000, so that with their own hands and with their own say tools, they can able to improve or expand their kind of trade. The other aspect is they can get loan. Initially, they'll be given 1 lakh. If their say kind of say investment and their say activities are pretty good, they'll be given another 2 lakhs. So altogether, the amount will be 3 lakhs. So this is one area where our say artisans, craft person can avail this particular say scheme. Now, to implement this one, is going to be kind of verified with it by the village council. If it is in the urban areas, it'll be from the urban body. The second stage will be there's district level implementation committee is there, headed by deputy commissioner. So as in when the applications are being recognized by the village council or the UPL, the second stage will be DC will main the DIC, and then it'll be vetted, and the steering committee in the state will finally approve it. So if we take this particular opportunity, I think the neglected kind of artisans as well as the craft person will be benefiting a lot. So with your kind of support from the brain media, it's going to be going back to the grassroots level so that the process will be lightened, and then the people of all our knocking corner will get to know that this particular scheme is pretty good so that they'll be benefiting. So for this aspect, 19th, 20th of this month here, we are going to have awareness program. We have gone from five district initially within this Dimapur area, and then from all the villages we are asking to represent one village council member so that they are supposed to identify the person who is applying the particular scheme. It's not going to overlap, but supposing if in a family I am working in a government job, my family members will not get this particular scheme. But those who are not, employed in government or any, wage or salary earning operations or private firms, they are supposed to get this particular scheme. So this awareness, if we keep on percolate it down to the grassroots level, I believe this will benefit us, our entrepreneurs, our artisans a lot. Thank you so much.
Now, 19 to 11 a.m., we have our discussion on tourism, especially developing sustainable tourism in Nagaland. This platform is designed or created with the intention of being facilitators for policy makers, stakeholders, great young minds who want to innovate and explore sustainable tourism as a source of livelihood. So, in this panel, we have been very intentional to curate our key persons. So, we will be covering issues on government policies by our government representatives. Then, we also have from the hospitality and hotel background who will talk on the need of the requirement that is needed for developing hospitality in when tourism comes. And also, the interesting aspect that I would like to highlight is we have also experts speaking on wildlife tourism, the scope of wildlife tourism in our state, and adventure tourism by our very young minds. But not only developing tourism, we also will be highlighting on the issues or the negative aspects of the impact of tourism on environment ecology in the long run. So we are trying to have a very holistic approach. This panel we are planning, or what we have designed, is to not only impart but also create a platform for healthy interaction between the policy formulators and also stakeholders. And we believe that this is a small baby step in the right direction. And we invite anyone who has concern or is interested to know more about sustainable tourism developing in our state. You're most welcome to come and join us. You can raise queries. There'll be a panel of experts who will respond to your need. Thank you.
Why logistics is because Nagaland being a landlocked state, we face a lot of challenges. And we are also trying, the whole session of about this is we're trying to explore different opportunities. So we're getting various
departments like the inland waterways, the aviation industry, and we're talking about industries and commerce, and railways, yes, which is also a very integral part. And also we're putting in some private sector participants as well. So it's a very exciting panel that we have. And what I wanted to, from my experience, what I wanted to share is as an entrepreneur, there are so many challenges when you're dealing with logistics. And through this session, what we want to convey to the participants is like we're trying to do our best, band as an organization, not individually together. We are representing all the entrepreneurs. So we want them to understand that how do we maximize by using all this governmental agencies and also trying to synergize with private sectors and trying to offer as much benefit to the entrepreneurs through this session. So I would like to invite everyone, whoever is reading this message, whoever is hearing this message, to please come and join us on the 20th.
This is an opportunity for the private sector and the government to converge and to maximize the potential of the state. And on the 19th of January at 2 p.m., we'll be having a session, a panel discussion on the future of startup and entrepreneurship. So this session is being conducted uh, with the help, with the collaboration of the Investment and Development Authority of Nagaland. So it is curated very beautifully, taking into account the challenges entrepreneurs will face in the future.